Yes. Yeah, we got it. Oh, you got it. Okay.
Great.
Okay, so do you hear us? Okay, is it?
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Guys and girls. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for attending the call, the video call, and maybe it is a good idea that I do a quick introduction about how we met and why we met. Chris and I, we met working for Ericsson. That was about, how long? 18 years ago? Could it be? Yeah.
2001, I think.
Yeah, 2001. We met. We were expatriates. So we worked for the Ericsson company in Sweden, and they expatriated us to Spain. I think you spent some time before in Thailand, right?
Yeah, exactly. In Portugal, I worked in Portugal. It was 2003, I think, you know, Rafa, because I lived in Portugal then. But anyway, yeah.
Okay, so we have common friends, and I still remember the day that he said to everybody, "Okay, I'm quitting Ericsson, and I'm gonna be starting an MVNO, mobile virtual network operator." I don't know if you know what you are, what they are. They are like operators that they are behind the network. They don't have a proper network to connect you, so they have a small customer care and billing system for you. And so he started with one of his best friend. He was doing an MBA in Milano, and so everybody was freaking out. It's like, what are you doing, guy? You're gonna get bankrupt. It's almost impossible. You're gonna be talking to the Telefónicas, Airtel at the time. It was in Vodafone, and the others. So it's gonna be impossible, and he did it. Okay. So it's been a long road, also full of bumps, and when I thought that everything was clear, so he had enough money for spending his life under a palm beach and everything, he started to do it again. So he has started like 3 more companies, I think, right now. And so what is the thing that is moving you, Chris? I'm concerned. I'm worried. I mean.
Yeah, well, in Spanish you said que tengo un culo inquieto, no?
Okay.
I guess in English that would be that you have I'm a bit restless person, and I'm triggered by adventures. I'm triggered by challenges. I like kite surfing, like Rafa. We're kite surfing friends, even though Rafa is on another planet than I am in kites.
Thank you, Chris. But
I can't only kite surf, even though I love it, or do sports or traveling, even though I love it. I need professional challenges as well, and I guess being an entrepreneur is a kind of passion or sickness. Somebody call it sickness as well. Disease, but yeah, that's the way it is. It drives me to have challenges and starting new things. I like starting new things. I love building things. Some people who are not entrepreneurs, they think money is the driving force. Well, it's not that. I'm a proof of that. I have enough money. I don't need to work anymore, but I still do. Because I like the challenge of creating things and challenging established regimes, established businesses, sort of.
Okay, so thank you, Chris. I think he's also very humble. So talking about kite surfing and jumping, maybe he's been jumping higher than I've been doing before. So no, okay. He's doing like that. Yes, maybe maybe not with the waves. But it's all right. I mean, okay, we spent some time also last year. He was taking some sort of a sabbatical, 4 months also, going through Indonesia and everything. So I thought, okay, it's gonna be the end. So he's not gonna be working anymore. But it's the other way around. I think he came with more strength and willingness of doing. So is it possible that you drive us through the presentation that you prepare? And give some special advice for people that they are studying.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'll then go a bit fast through the presentation, and then afterwards I can share with you, and let's make this interactive, okay? That you can ask me questions on the way, and then I could share with you what I feel is very important as an entrepreneur, and so on.
Yeah, perfect. So do you want to share your screen, or do you want us to put your? I think it will be better. So at least we are seeing you also at the background. So I have the presentation here. If you want, I can tell you in which slide we are. So this is the first one, the cover one.
Yeah, the cover one. Okay. I'll just put mine up here. Okay, just have in mind, guys, that this presentation is a sort of a teaser in order to attract investors for one of my new startups. Meaning that's why it's a little bit angles towards me and Miguel, which is the other founder of my new startups, who's called Easy. Okay, so that's a little bit why it's structured that way. So it tells a little bit background foremost about myself, and MASMOVIL, and Miguel. Okay, so you see the first slide. There are two founders of MASMOVIL. Meinrad Helmut Spenger, Austrian. This guy is still running the show. He's still the number one. He's a CEO of the whole MASMOVIL group right now, which is more than 600 employees.
This guy.
It's listed on the stock exchange in Spain and worth more than 1.2 billion euros. I started MASMOVIL with my ID, and 3-4 months later, I luckily managed to convince Meinrad to join me on this journey. I've been the COO, I've been the Director of Marketing and Business Development Director. Then I did a startup within the startup in MASMOVIL to develop the whole expat and international business division in MASMOVIL. I've been a board member since the beginning, since I'm one of the two founders, until I left in 2014. Miguel, he was almost the third founder. He got an offer to be the third founder. He's starting Easy with me right now. He couldn't be the third founder because Maini and myself, we invested not only our time for free, but also money. And Miguel was not in that position, but he was definitely the most important guy in the beginning of MASMOVIL, apart from Maini and myself. So next slide, the creation of the company.
Yep. Okay, well, we're there. 2005, 2016. Yeah, we are. The creation of the company. Yep.
So the very start, which is funny, the very start of the relationship and the start of the company and the concept was actually on the beach in Cascais in Portugal, where I lived and worked for Ericsson. And Maini came over to visit a long weekend, and I started telling him about my concept and my initial business plan and so on the beach in Cascais in Guincho. So in the end of 2005, we had a business plan ready because we knew that the Spanish telecom market will be deregulated. It will be open up for competition. I saw that all the companies in all the countries in Europe, starting from Scandinavia and UK in 1999, they sort of opened up for competition. And in 2005, there were just Portugal, Spain, Italy, and Greece who denied competition, and the European Union were pushing them to get deregulated. So we knew that it was a question of time before the market got deregulated. And we knew that Spain was a great market to start in because they had 3 operators. It was an oligopoly. They had the highest, I repeat, the highest prices for telecom, for calling and SMS and data in the whole Europe. And there were only 3 with a market of 48 million users. and the service was very bad. So Houston, we had a business case. We invested. We were not rich, but we invested all our personal savings, which was back then, which we saved being expatriates, around 60,000 euros. And we started a long journey. We quit our jobs when the market got deregulated in February 2006. We formed a team with a lot of stock options and reduced salaries for everybody, but then salaries. We got the 3 FFFs, friends, family, and fools, like I like to say, FFFs, to invest. They were not that fools anyway, because in the end, everybody earned money on MASMOVIL. But we started that in 2006, and in 2000, and the reaction from the ex-colleagues was, as you said, Rafa, you're crazy. You would only have, my ex-boss in Ericsson said, you will have 2% probability of getting the contract, the license to exist. Not to have success, but only to exist, because this is only for large, well-established companies. This is Spain, blah, blah, blah. Okay?
So, should we move to the next slide? Yeah.
Next slide, yeah.
So, if I get...
Showing...
the 2007, milestone 1. Yeah.
And, let's see. There we go. Yeah. So after in April, we spent all the money to family and friends and so on. And we said to each other that now we work full time for this, 15 months. We spent all our savings. We had to call mom and dad to say, hey, can you lend me some more money, please, and so on. And we said, if we couldn't get the contract before the summer, then we will call it a go, because we couldn't afford it anymore. And then 2-3 months later, Orange said, yes, we'll give you a contract. And Vodafone also said, yes, we'll give you a contract, but a bit later. So we signed with Orange in 2007, and we managed to also get backed by the investors, Northern Ventures from Norway, and Schibsted Media, which is one of the largest media houses in Europe. In Spain, Schibsted owns 20 Minutes. They own Fotocasa. They own Mil Anuncios. A lot of media companies. No? They're huge in Spain. They have 1,000 employees. Now, I want to say that.
Chris, how much of the company you gave away? Was it the majority, or was a minor part of the company?
No, we to these 2 investors, we didn't give in the first. We didn't give the majority in with their first investments. No, but they had as much as 43%.
Okay.
Because I cannot say the exact amount, but. There were, let's say, there were significantly more than a couple of million euros and less than 10 million euros.
Okay.
Something there. So they invested a lot. Now, one important thing for you to know is, like, how did we manage this? Because the investors, we talked with a lot of investors. And when I say a lot, I really mean a lot. A lot of investors. We got closed doors all the time. In the end, we got someone that we got, like in Orsson and a couple of others. But the investor said, hello, this is nothing. This is not a bit unless you have a contract. It exists as a mobile virtual network operator. So do you have a contract with them? And we said, yeah, we're in the final negotiation, so we almost have it. Okay, but we will come on board when you have it. But then on the other hand, the mobile operator said, hey, but do you have the financing for that? Because we cannot give you the contract of being an MVNO without seeing that you're substantially financed, backed by investors. So there was a lot of catch-22. And what did we do? We got to our investors. We talked with several investors that were interested, and we said, "Hey, can you do us a favor to push the operators to give us to sign the contract? Can you sign a letter of intent saying that you're willing to put in millions of euros, you're willing to investigate seriously, and that you're very interested to invest several million euros if we get the contract, without any obligations, but go into due diligence and so on." And the investor said, "Yeah, we can do that to push the operators, because we're not obliged to, and we would like to, so why not?" So that really helped us to get the contract with Orange. Okay.
Okay.
So next slide.
Yeah. Going to you and Manny holding the hand, and 2008 onwards. Yeah.
Yeah. So first, the milestone 2, the dream came a bit true. That we had ramped up a team, and we launched the 18th of February 2008. We were the 7th one, actually. We were not the first or the second or the third, but we were the 7th one. We were the only startup in the whole market, and everybody thought we were crazy. And now really the hard stuff started, because we worked really hard for 2 years, but now we can say that the hard work started. Next slide.
Yeah. To 2009, 2012. So the road ahead.
As it says there, I mean, in our Excel sheet to the investors, it said that we will have X clients after 1 year in 2008, and in 2010 we will be a massive company. Yoigo with TeliaSonera, they really took that spot because they enter as the 4th operator, backed by enormous amount of money. So things become very, very difficult. We struggled. It was very hard, and I can tell honestly that we almost went bankrupt 3 times.
3 times.
3 times. And especially one time we were so seriously in deep water, I can tell you. The investors got really tired of us, and in the end they gave us several really requirements, and they gave us some loans to continue. So people say, when did it really pick up? It never really picked up the growth like a hockey stick, like all the Excel sheets for startups does or contain. But we managed to, with a reduced organization and with a very limited budget, we managed to grow steadily, month by month, and we got a lot of awards: best in price, best in customer care. We had customer care in 6 languages in order to cater for the expats in Spain. We got a lot of innovation awards as well. So we managed to grow steadily, even though we had our knife at the throat basically all the time. So next slide. After 5 years in the market.
2013, yeah. Milestone 3 reach, yeah. Yeah.
That was a really great moment for me, because then as an entrepreneur you can tell that, hey, we've done it. We are profitable. We managed to have more than 1 million euros in EBITDA and a positive cash flow from operation of more than 500,000. So for us it was great. It was really great, and we felt that we can breathe a little bit and lower our shoulders a little bit. But then there were new challenges ahead, because the market was changing. There were a lot of consumers in Spain who started to demand convergent services, and convergent services for you guys who are not familiar with what it is basically that you have one package. You have the mobile subscription, mobile phone, you have a fixed line, you have a Wi-Fi broadband at home, and even right now the television subscription all in one offer from a telecom operator. We saw that this was starting to really grow. We knew that because all the reports said that this will take off in Spain. So we said that we need to do something. We managed to be profitable, but if we don't do something, because the market is changing, then we'll be back to the shit again and lose money. We have to do something. So we were thinking a lot, and we set out a new, really bully vision, which was, okay, let's become the fourth largest operator in Spain.
Okay, and okay, two questions with regards of this. Okay, when you have positive results after 5 years, like you had, what do you do with that money? Do you invest it back to the company, or do you give any dividends to the investors, or? And so that is the first question. What do you do with the money?
We reinvested in the company. We didn't give out dividends at all.
Yeah.
And in fact, MASMOVIL has not given today, it's 2017, nothing in dividends, just reinvesting back in the company all the time.
Okay. And the thing you said, sometimes you could see a problem like what it was happening in the market, that you have like convergent services, and you had competition like being unfair to you because they could offer quite a lot of things. So mobile subscription was just a part of their offering. So for you it was like an unfair competition, but that create like the possibility of you growing much bigger. And I think that was one of the key factors of you became the fourth mobile operator. So you needed to grow quickly. You need to acquire companies in order to do that.
Exactly. And we had of course some luck along the way, because back then what started to happen is that there were merging and acquisitions in the market. Vodafone bought the large fixed mobile operator, and also the large MVNO, which is Justel. And then Orange acquired Ono. No, it was opposite, sorry. Vodafone acquired Ono, the largest one, and Orange wanted to acquire
Justel.
Yeah. And but then suddenly the European Commission said, hey, this is now, it's not becoming very competitive, the market, so we will not allow you Orange to acquire Justel. And then Orange said, how can we work around that? And they said, hey, but okay, they came back to the European Commission, said, okay, but since we are acquiring Justel, then we will have two fixed broadband structures. So, and we just need one structure, really, because we're one company, we will become one company. So how about this European Union? If we sell the other infrastructure of broadband to a competitor, would we then allow to merge? And then the European Commission said, yeah, then you will allow to merge. So then Orange opened up a competition to offer this to the competition, and the ones that applied were MASMOVIL and the Swedish-Finnish mobile operator Yoigo. And Yoigo did not; they were large mobile operator, but they didn't have fixed infrastructure. And we won because Orange wanted us to run, because we roamed on their network, and they didn't see us as a big competitor, but they saw TeliaSonera Yoigo as a big competitor. So that's how we acquired the broadband. That was the first thing.
Okay, that is the 2014 milestone 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, and then would you say that the investors got much more interested in you when the whole ecosystem started to collapse somehow, and they started to give you money somehow to buy some of the companies?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no comparison, because until we got listed on the MAB, Mercado Alternativo Bursátil, which is the small Spanish access stock exchange. Until then, even though we were profitable or close to be profitable in 2012 and so on, and we needed just $500,000, we had to really cry out to the investor to just get $500,000. When we managed to merge with Ibercom in 2014, got listed on the MAB, and we got to like I told you, we won the bid of acquiring the fixed network infrastructure. So we had a convergence service. And we also launched plans that we really wanted to grow. We wanted to acquire Happy Mobile, owned by the Phone House company, and several small regional MVNOs. When we had all this, first that we were on the map, one, and two, had all these ambitions to grow, then money was really easy. For the first capital injection that we wanted to have when we were listed on the map, we asked for 25 million to acquire Happy Mobile, 25 million euros, and we got oversubscribed. We got 75 basically.
Okay, so that is a good advice to them. So don't give too much in the beginning and don't beg too much, because later on they will come to you, investors. Or
yeah, it's all about becoming profitable. Yeah.
Okay, so we are on the number 7. I'm moving on. 2016.
Yeah, just say that myself. I just one thing before that. On the other slide, the number 5. I left the company then as a funding partner, director, or board member. I'm still today as well as stockholder, and I left the company after 9 years. People who are not entrepreneurs, they don't understand that, and they say that why are you leaving? You founded this together with my money. Why are you leaving after 9 years? And I said, for me, it's very, very simple. I'm thrilled of building new things from the scratch. I'm good at that. I'm not necessarily good to lead a big company or lead parts of a big company with several hundred employees. And besides all the bureaucracy and internal conflicts and all that shit, it's not really my kind of cup of tea. So for me, it's a very natural thing, and for other entrepreneurs. But for big corporates, they always ask about why I left, in order to stay on with a very secure company, which MASMOVIL obviously managed to become. So and then 2 years more after 2016, then really the milestone of becoming the 4th largest telecom operator happened. MASMOVIL, with only 400,000 subscribers, successfully acquired the company Pepperphone with 500,000 subscribers, and TeliaSonera Yoigo with 3.3 million subscribers.
That is a little bit like David eating Goliath, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
So you are a tiny company of about 1/10 of the total of Yoigo, and you engulf, you eat the whole company.
Yeah, we did.
So you raise 800 million euros to enable to buy those companies. Oh, wow.
Exactly. I have to say that on this operation, MASMOVIL as a quite big company had excellent advisors on top level. I think those guys are the best in Spain when it comes to do the financial engineering, to put it that way, how we should put out and acquire and buy new companies and so on. They've been very important for us in that in this recent period.
Okay.
But and then of course large private equity companies from the US like Providence, Gala, and so on, they went in to finance it. So, like I put in the slide, it's the first time in the whole world that a small startup MVNO managed to buy a mobile operator. Because usually it's the opposite that happens, that your mobile operator buys the MVNO. That's the exit strategy.
Okay.
So that's basically that. But many people in the stock market 1 year ago was quite anxious about it because the debt rates with a small company raising 800 million euros. The debt rate was really high, and it could have gone very, very bad as well.
Okay.
So next slide.
Yeah, we are 2017 milestone 6, the Spanish stock exchange. So you move into the Mercado Continuo, which is one of the biggest markets in Southern Europe.
Exactly. And one of the reasons why it has been a success, especially the last year, is that basically the trend was like from 2013, actually, MASMOVIL as a small company and later as a big company managed to really grow fast, because the consumers in the Spanish market finally got really trust in a small company, which was not that small anymore. David became sort of big enough, so a lot of doubters they jumped onto MASMOVIL from the large ones, and the last year the MASMOVIL group is really killing the market. It's like right here, it's with 9% market share. It's taking constantly a market share of postpaid portability and new sales of convergence services of almost half the market, which is astonishing for a company having 9% market share. So they exceeded all the growth objectives and so on, and the stock price tripled this year, and that's why it's worth 1.2 billion euros right now.
That means a unicorn. I mean, 1.2 billion euros, that is over, around 1.5 billion US dollars, which is quite a nice figure also to have. And so most of the people, they think unicorns only exist in somewhere in Europe and of course in the US, but it could happen also in Spain. So that is...
Yeah, it happens with us, yeah.
Okay. Any advice to people? I mean, how you could be blind of this success? I mean, and you could do stupid things. I mean, any kind of advice you could give to them, because this is like a superstar being born. So you're
just be humble. I mean, it's also, I think that question also really depends on the way you're raised, really, from your parents and your childhood, because both Magni and myself, we're humble guys. We're from, like we used to say, both of us, we're from the wood. I'm from a small village of 3,000 inhabitants, 1 hour drive from Oslo in Norway, and Magni is he's grew up from a even smaller village in the middle of nowhere in Oslo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really in our genes to flash off and lose the feet. And for me, it's also natural to stay where you are, because I mean, we could easily, as I told you, we almost went bankrupt 3 times. The investors, I can tell you, investors in 2009, they wanted to sell the company. They forced us to try to sell it to a competitor in 2009 for less money than the investors themselves had invested. And that is so close it was to really fuck up. And then the only thing we would have gotten back was a tap on the shoulder, right? So I'm very humble to think that, okay, it went very well. It went, wow, beyond my mind. It went extremely well, but hey, it could have gone bad as well. And anyway, I would have been proud as well if this whole thing would go bankrupt some years back, because I took the decision of being an entrepreneur and going for it all, and we managed to have the right in 2007 to become a virtual operator, and I knew that things could have gone wrong, but you must be proud of what you do and what you decided to do, even though it might not be a financial success.
So you think failure is an option?
I definitely was with MASMOVIL, and failure is always an option when you do a startup. Most of the startups fails, but many startups sort of make it, become profitable, but being small and have a couple of employees and don't manage to go on the stock exchange and so on. But hey, that's also a success story. Yeah. If you just can build a sustainable business and manage to pay your own salary, then you're a great entrepreneur.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. We are into the last slide. I think it is investor perspective. Sorry, I need to be leaving in about 10 minutes. So you have the value has tripled over the last year, around triple. Yeah, from 20 to 60 right now. It peaked around 80. And this is a question for you. Now you're funding a couple of companies also, and you're raising money, or are you putting the money yourself into your companies, or what is your vision?
I'm doing both. I'm putting in my own money. I put in quite a lot, but the company Easy he referred to needs to raise 3 million euros now to be able to have 2-3 years of stable development and growth. Already I put in the initial funding. I did, and also put in another seed round. And I can say to the new investors, I say, hey, look. First thing, if things go bad, you will not lose all your money because we have a lot of technology invested in our platform. So other companies will be interested in acquiring it. So you'll never lose all your money, maybe half if things really go bad. That's the downside. But if things go really bad, I'm losing much more than you guys. I've been investing more money than you. At least investors until now. And second, I've been working for this for 2 years for free without taking out any income. So if it doesn't go well, I'm the one that will suffer the most, and you investors will also suffer, but not as much as me.
Okay, understood.
It's important that my message is that it's always important that investors, early investors and everything, see that you put in some money, even though it's just little. If you have little money, that you put in some money, and you put in all your time, and you bleed and sweat for this company, and you try to do everything to make it a success. That's very important for early investors, seed investors to see.
Okay, agree. I mean, from my side, I agree. Try to put you back into the screen so people can talk to you and ask a few questions.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can. I'll stop this one. Oh, perfect. So you're on. So maybe it's a good time for you to ask questions to this guy, which has been extremely successful. But he's humble enough to start it all over again, put his money, his time, and I can see that. I think Chris for me is like a friend that appears and suddenly disappears. So he's engulfed by the amount of work. I mean, and maybe you're right now into that phase again with Easy. So
yeah,
what?
My role in Easy is and my other company, Phone Cases 3D. They're a bit different because I'm the majority owner and investor and the chairman of the companies, the two companies. So I have luckily enough money right now to invest in the company and get people working for me. I don't want to be that much. I don't want to be MASMOVIL once again, because we work like 70, 80 hours a week for how many years, and that I'm not doing again. But yeah, I'm still very involved in the new two startups.
Okay, so questions, if you have. They are overwhelmed. So no more questions? No?
I can tell. I have a couple of two questions that pops up from a lot of audiences. Like, in the beginning, how did you make it? What was the most important learnings that you do, and so on? I think the most important thing you have to do right now, when you're in a very early stage of your company, you map what is important in order to make success. And that is, okay, for example, we need a very good programmer in order to have a very good platform, technological platform. We need a good app. We need to be very good in some channels of marketing, and we need to have some contacts with maybe a mobile operator, or maybe some big internet sites. Okay, map what is important for your specific company in order to succeed. Map what is important, the critical success factors, and then you as founders, you be honest to yourself and say, where do I contribute, and where do the other co-founder or co-founders attribute or contribute. Manny and I did that in the beginning, and of course we came short. We needed to have a really heavyweight telecom guy known in the market that could really open doors to the big operators, or open doors to investors. We were young and we didn't have this contact, not this credibility or experience. So what we would do is say, okay, we have one critical success factors, give a heavyweight telecom expert known in the market on board. We need that guy. So what did we do then? We worked in order to identify those guys. We managed to get the ex-president of Ericsson Spain to come to a meeting. He got really, really enthusiastic by our business concept and our energy, young energy, and so on. So he said, okay, I'm in. I will work as an advisor, and you can use my name, and I will work actively for you being a door opener. And it really, so then we sort of ticked out one of our critical success factors on our map and said that, great, then we have that competence. And then we needed to have a really good sales guy, Spanish, because we're both foreigners, and we didn't have a really good telecom sales guy. And we needed a really good heavyweight marketing guy. And then we went out in the market to get them. And in the end, we managed to get them. And then we could tick out more of this map of what we needed of competence in our company.
So thinking big is probably, it was the key for you in the beginning.
Yeah, thinking big, mapping what are the critical success factors, and then go out and fill in the holes that you have.
Okay. So more questions? No more questions. So thank you, Chris. I think this is it. I don't know if you see everybody's in the background. Yeah, at least. I mean, they're talking to you. It's been a pleasure. And do you think if they have any questions or anything, I can give your details to them, at least the email and everything, and refer?
Yeah, but it's better that they. I can be available for the app right now. If they have some questions right now, it's better that they ask now, because writing emails, longer emails, and so on. Sorry, it takes me a long time to answer several individual emails. I don't have time for it, but I have time now if you want some questions.
Okay, so I'll try to dig any more questions about it. So thank you. We need to stop this call because I need to take the computer and go to another meeting. But Rachel and Marina will be able to guide you, probably using Appear In, that platform. Appear In /Bolt ACC. I sent you
Yeah,
an email.
I just logged onto it and it seems to work fine. I log into it right now.
Perfect. So
I'm available for some minutes if you guys want to
okay.
ask me something.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
Okay. Thank you, Rafa. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.